Let's try this again, and if not, I'm going to continue whilst not live streaming. Continue. Oh, fuck. Technically, the endless adventure already started. I wanted to see the cutscene. It's not good.
The cards fall again and everything changes. A new applicant approaches. A new story unfolds. The stakes are raised.
I love that voice.
The game we play is no longer bound by time. No, it stretches forth into eternity. Or at least, until your death. Now it begins. You'll find the rules have changed. You'll need to be prepared to face whatever fate presents you.
Adventure beckons. You set foot upon the open road and begin your journey into the unknown. Ravages of time. Fame reduces over time. Weapon damage and equipment defense. Blah blah blah. We already knew this. So max life can't be reduced by injuries in combat, at the very least. While walking through a shady forest, you encounter a frail old maiden. She stops to greet you.
For centuries, I have helped the mortals who find themselves lost in my forest. Is there anything that may help with your journey?
And supplies is what I'm currently thinking.
This should sustain you for a few days,
she says, squinting at you with tired eyes. And that's good food. You arrive at the capital on a fine sunny morning, milling among the crowd of citizens, beggars and traders and cutthroats as the city stirs to life. Fuck, I messed that up slightly. You wander the streets and taverns in search of news or rumours of adventure and glory.
This card will determine the enemy you face at the conclusion of this section. Defeat them, and you will begin another, and so on, into infinity.
I like thieves a lot, I will admit. This adventure ends with a combat against powerful thieves. Expect to encounter their kind in the journey. Success gains 30 gold. Failure is death. Continue. Good. I have reason to believe that an assassin has infiltrated the Emperor's court, Imperial Captain Fenwick tells you over a quiet ale. I don't think I have to tell you how disastrous it would be if there were unsavory types in the city plotting the downfall of the government. He rubs his mouth with the back of his hand. We know their leader's name, but not the identity they've adopted in court. Help me root them out. At this stage, anyone could be a would-be assassin. He laughs. Even you!
Would you like to make your life more difficult? No doubt. Your history suggests this would not be the first time.
Optional trial cards would mean loss in fame. If we do shit. So this is... You see, this one I want to do. But 250 life is a fair bit. This one makes you lose fame. This one, I lose a blessing if I don't do it, but I gain a blessing if I do it. Provide 250 life by the end of the current adventure to succeed. I don't know what that means. Fuck it. Let's find out. And that's all I want.
Let us take the battle to the darkness itself.
Servants!
Growls a voice from a nearby alley. A gloom-shrouded figure limps cautiously into the light. The shadow beast looks even more pale and gaunt than usual. The creature draws itself into its full height.
I am Velis, mortal, and I foresee that our destinies are intertwined. Aid me now, and I believe we can be of great benefit to each other in the future.
1 second, being called upon.
I could not be more pleased to train you. You have every skill Callus lacked. Patience, delicacy, tact, skill.
Well, that ended up being useless. That one's that.
One does not reach my aid without making a few enemies, and I have more than a few. I fear that one of them has poisoned me, new to venom if I had to guess, and now I fear the shadow calls me to return forever. I am not long for this world.
As if to illustrate his point, Velis breaks into a coughing fit. He wipes his mouth with a delicate handkerchief, staining it black.
Blood, servant. I require blood, and lots of it.
He leans against the alley wall.
I will travel with you for a time. Violence follows in your wake, and I'm sure I'll have plenty of opportunities to slake my thirst. And if not, well, I'll take my fill from your own veins while you rest. Now, let's be off. The night is young.
You feel compelled to move on. Sate Velis' hunger at the campfire and by performing knockdowns attacks during combat. You look over your supplies and maps in preparation. Consider your chosen adventure's traits when building your deck.
Select the cards you need to defeat the enemy ahead. The deeper you go, the more chances you will have to revisit your choices.
This one upgrades equipment. Fuck desert track. All it makes me do is have access to everything. This one can get my companion killed, and only gives me fame. And
make your choices and consider what must lie ahead.
I don't even know what that one does. That one's great. This one can get me an artifact or make me lose life. Ah, it's a guaranteed artifact. This one makes me lose food for a blessing from the wretched. That one is again tempting. Field of Fae can make me cursed. This one is a dice roll from 18, 16, 14, etc. I think. I'll go with Wretched. Billy Clubs. Thief's Folly. Light of Truth. Mercenary Garb. And cutthroat blades.
The choices have been made, and now the adventure begins.
Please help!
She cries.
I've been robbed by a band of thugs. Is there anything you can do?
Always assist. Even if you fail, that just means I got blood for Valis.
Games within games within games.
If I do it like this, I need 9. Which is unlikely, which is what I want. Yeah, battle.
Why, thank you. Now, if you'd be so kind as to give me all of your gold.
The woman draws a pair of concealed blades from her corset.
Come on out, boys.
Only 3. Oh, it's going to be so easy in the early game. But later on, it's going to be hell. What the? Just quickly researching something. Well, the billy clubs would be good for this, actually. A nightmare from Fables. When activated, Velis performs a series of powerful strikes against multiple targets. Stay close to charge his ability faster. Yeah. Knockdown, break guard. So this next trying to take finishes. Well, let's hope I'm lucky.
We are not so easily ambushed.
Until I get my billy clubs, there's nothing I can do about this. With the thugs defeated, you search their bodies for valuables. Billy clubs! You're not billy clubs. Just need 4. Are you butting my buttocks and then butting me more? Fail to find valuables.
Consider what you need to progress here, and leave behind anything you can do without.
While hiking along a mountain path, you pass an old farmer weighed down by a heavy sack. You slow your pace to walk with him for a while. In ancient times, my people had a great empire, he offers as he continuously continues slowly up the path. It stretched all the way to the misty sea. In those days, our clerics would sacrifice precious jewels and finely forged weapons to appease the gods. Much has changed since then, as you can see. He gestures to a tiny collection of rundown shacks in the valley below. Few of us keep to the old traditions, and we have precious little to give, but every year we give what we can. Perhaps one day our fortunes would change, or not, but what else can we do? He points to the top of a mountain and says, "Perhaps up there your fate may change also." Hours later, you stand at the top of the mountain and discover a vast crater that falls way into the shadows below. You approach the edge of the pit and gaze into the unending darkness. A stone outcropping extends out but over the center of the abyss. You make your way down the mountainside away from the ominous chasm. I've got nothing to give. You set up camp beside an old, forgotten battlefield. It is a haunted place. Local legends say the field is strewn with the bones of 100 witches. Your supper is interrupted by the arrival of a strange, horned creature.
Greetings, mortal. My time here is limited, but I wish to offer you my aid.
The creature gives you a brief but entirely accurate summary of your adventure so far.
You've been ambushed by thieves.
Full stop. That's literally what that's happened. Could you give you,
I like you, human.
it says, peering at you intently with unblinking eyes.
I want you to succeed and fulfill your destiny. Let's bargain.
Yes. That's not what I
They
need.
are as sharp as your wit, I fear.
Those are what I need.
I hope I've helped your quest in some small way. Now for your side of the bargain?
Satisfied with his payment, Kerbarak says,
Farewell, hero. Perhaps one day our paths will cross again.
you blink and the creature is gone.
Take
And
careful stock of your resources. You must consider every decision ahead of you.
Blood of the Beast. Continue. Indulge his appetite. Indulge his appetite. I heal when I move. Decline. Break camp. Make a donation. Gold salad. That one's tempting. Second wind. That one's tempting. Beggars charm. Not tempting. Monk vitality. No. Gold seller. To make it easier to give. Leave.
What has happened to the world beyond the reaches of the Empire? Even I am unsure.
A trader of uncertain origin entices you to exchange your equipment or your soul by the items rattling around in his trunk. Ah, thank fuck, that was good.
This will complement my bird's complexion nicely. What?
You're gonna give a fucking cutthroat blade to your fucking... Wow. He opens his trunk to show you what is on offer. What of truth.
A sorry form of justice is death.
The citrus-scented man takes his trunk and clatters away, disappearing into the crowd. My voice started to break. A pair of shady characters emerge from the shadows to block your path.
The Empire is offering a pretty price for your adventurer.
One of the men remarks while casually inspecting his blade.
Nothing personal.
The other advances adds as they advance towards you. Mana clips don't kill anyone. I can knock them around. No, Malaclips is the most useless one, so that's alright at the very least.
Why do you keep getting us into these situations?
There we go. How much blood did he gain? Or is it broken? Anyone know when to find out? Fight! Gain 10 life. The Reaper will end you. Oh. Gain equipment. Yippee. Again?
I would never bring a knife to a sword fight. 2 knives, however.
You wake one night with the sound of rustling. With the start, you realize there are thieves pilfering your supplies.
I'm not a vain man. You must appreciate that the game,
This game has been my focus for more years than I can count.
I have a certain
Pride regarding its twists and turns. The thieves are long gone, but you managed to grab their companion and demand compensation. You easily hoist your attacker to the fate, then a common bandit. You're face to face with a dirty, sickly child. Offer some food. Take pity on the food, he gives them some supplies. This bless you, mercenary, and you gain a blessing. Optionally, prior to combat, remove the brimstone status of a basic brimstone monster card, then that can be used 3 times. I'm right with losing that one if I fail my bonus. Ambush the traders. Do it on the fate. Fuck! Redraw. I honest to God don't care about anything else apart from not failing. Oh boy, a healing potion. I just want to get. I want to get the bandits.
That should help.
Oh, it's useless. There we go. And I need to knock them down, but that's fine.
You might want to work on this. Clearly you lack what it takes.
I did it on purpose, dude. Dude. Yeah. Ah.
Well then, challenge accepted.
Whoopsie. Fucked up. Are you fucking my mother? Oh wait, I realized these guys aren't thieves.
Appreciate it.
How was I hitting that guy? I'm gonna stop trying to knock people down because it's not working actually. He just died.
Your supplies are running low. Make your choices carefully.
Elm's a big one. Yes! You hit across the duck, feel at peace, discard that. You find a baby, facing, begin to imagine. You've helped with so much nicer as a baby. Thank you for doing this. I think she intended to leave me here forever. Maybe she just overnight. The water of you cannot be taken from the grounds without losing its magic unless it's in a situ environment. Return me to live and I have one prepared for you.
A reward well earned.
Advance. As the courtiers file through the palace gates, you step back from the crowd and block their path. Captain Fenwick draws his blade and proclaims, "Chancellor Silvilla, you stand accused of treason and attempted regicide. What say you?" The Chancellor begins to clap slowly and smugly. "Bravo at the both of you. You found me out." With a flourish, Blister Lips drops the disguise. "Oh, it is I, Blister Lips. And if history remembers you, it will be as the fool who failed to prevent the Emperor's death by my hand." The courtiers advance the courtiers draw a knife from the hidden recesses of their robes and advance on you. Oh, it's only an anarchist. You know, I love myself some fan-fucking-tastic thieves. I can't actually finish them. I should have taken the armor. Whoopsie. So you didn't get knocked down. Whoopsie. You can be dealt with. Oi! Are you fucking kidding me? It's like you did it on purpose, you dick. Fucking eat him! Companion gained hell. 10 life per. With the ruffians dealt with, the people of the Hunt Weasel will emerge from their homes to thank you. You can get 84 points, gained gold. With the remaining quest, you split your attention to other attacks. Thieves are now stronger in combat. Vela stares at you with feel like time together is running short. You doggos are not pleased by that your failure, lose your one blessing. That one's fine. He bears his thanks and leaving you alone and uneasy.
Your first adventure is complete. From here, things will become more difficult.
That's fine. You return to the capital in search of more adventure.
What adventure will fate hold for you?
Briarfolk. Some mages. Don't know what Briarfolk is, honestly. I know mages though. The Empire is offering a reward for limiting the threat of magic users across its territories. The Val Wizard Visa of the Elder Blood and her allies have reportedly used magic to construct a stone tower next to the village of Talos, sending the inhabitants into a panic. You set out to thwart whatever evil plans Yisa may have for the town.
This is a good time to add trials, before time has passed and things have become more difficult.
Oh, whoopsie. Inspect. Again, 30 fame by not using rings. Discard 2 artifacts in the current adventure to succeed. Maybe. So this was essentially do a wheel gambit at the end of the adventure and see what you get. That one's easy, that one's not so easy, but I'm willing to try it. Start. The tavern is crowded as you sit arguing with a pair of adventurers from the southern kingdoms. Coin and drink flow freely through the evening and as 3 of you swapped tales over a game of cards. But now, having been beaten soundly and thus robbed of the gold you gambled away from a rich dwarf earlier that day, their insistence that your claims are of heroics are as fanciful as tales of a white minotaur has you reaching for your blade. Why not prove your valor, mercenary? The powerfully built warrior taunts. How about a wager? Yes, the thin-robed man smirks. Surely a hero of your stature could complete your quest without the aid of, say, any magical rings? With rage in your heart and drink dulling your senses, you agree to the wager. The thin-robed man speaks some strange words and touches your forehead, saying, "Just to make sure you keep your word. Your rings will be returned at the end of the adventure. The other tavern patrons, having taken an interest in your heated exchange, cheer your decision.
They'll be dead before noon tomorrow, one man says. I'll take that wager.
You hear a woman reply. It's literally only fucking rings. While pursuing the local market, a goblin, poorly disguised as human, bursts from the barrel of herrings, spilling a wave of fish at your feet.
My name is Mr. Lionel.
His wizened face grins at you with a hint of madness.
I've been waiting a century for you.
Your goblin gives you a gives your cheek a kindly pat.
There are those who would see me killed for my share of the brewed scotch trade.
I would like you to join my nephew here. He reaches behind the barrel and lifts hubby, beaming up by the collar, and sets him down in front of you.
To gather some magical artifacts. My pursuers love old trinkets almost as much as they care for brewed scrod. How many artifacts, you ask? Why, this many.
Mr. Lionel holds up a hand with an extra severed human hand.
Good luck, old bean.
And with that, he sinks back into the herrings, waving the stolen hand and smiling gently at you.
As you descend, your decisions here will become your lifeblood.
Equipment. Fuck the far north. That one is difficult. I'm thinking of a different one, but still. This one gives me shit. And cunning man. One drunken night. One drunken night. And the underneath. Dead man's hand. I'm against mages. About that helmet's just a fucking helmet. Mark of damnation. Sure. I can't use the ring, but I can use it.
Congratulations! You have not fallen at the first hurdle. Now your decisions become more pressing.
The treacherous wilds. The wilds are sometimes treacherous and harmful. Who would have thought? While traversing a dangerous cliff face, you slip and lose your footing. Though relatively unharmed, the same cannot be said for the pack of traveller's rations that break your fall. Oh, fuck.
The damage will persist unless you can find a meal to relieve yourself.
I'm trading blessing for new equipment. Could even have a... There you go.
At your call, the javelins of heroes past will leap to your defense.
Buy food. Buy 5 food for 16 gold. Buy 5 food for 16 gold. That's enough. Discuss latest rumors. Mercenary garb.
How appropriate.
Oh. It's got lodging. Leave.
Now is your chance. Resolve these as soon as you can.
Go ahead. Healer. Buy information. Never mind. Buy food. Never mind. Leave. Up.
Do you know, in all my years, I have never set to sea.
You're missing out, dude.
Seems safer, if you ask me.
It is, but you're missing out. After several hours of Yes? Yeah. Jesus Christ, he's bothered and asked. After several hours of competitive drinking, an old cartographer has become your new best friend. Come sail with me, he says. I know secrets. We just need a deckhand or 3. How many of you are there? Anyway, when you sober up, you decide to investigate his tale of a mysterious island that rises from the depths of the sea every 7 years. You'll need a ship. Here's some gold. See what you can find. It seems you've been recruited by an aspiring captain with no crew. Loose 20 gold. Boom. Continue! Weirdos. You drop anchor and wade to the shore. The island is a paradise, vast groves of tropical fruits ripen in the sun, filling the air with their inviting fragrance. In the distance you spy a mist-shrouded mountain. The cartographer documents everything he can find. The sailors follow along, searching for any hint of gold. On the third day, a wide-eyed deckhand points to the summit and shouts,
There's a glass castle up there, boys. I've seen it with my one good eye.
Whipped into a frenzy, the sailors ascend the mountain. A wondrous castle of glass has been built on the side of the mountain. The sailors push past, seemingly unimpressed. If there were ever occupants, they are long gone now. The sailors strip the walls of finery and loot the silverware. This trip is finally starting to pay off. I'm going to stop doing voices. The quartermaster says the quartermaster. What gives you the right to take what doesn't belong to you, says the exasperated cartographer. I suggest you help load the ship if you want to sail back in it, says the captain, waving his sword. The cartographer grumbles all the way down as he helps all the takings. As you sail away from the island, it sinks once more below the waves, taking its mysteries with it. Back on the mainland, the quartermaster divvies up the loot. Here's your lot, he says, throwing you and the cartographer a bag of glittering gems. For paying the sailors in the beginning, you receive more treasure. You gain 4 fame. It's really good for money making. And I can also...
There's nothing possible without healing.
I can heal myself now.
You and I must heal more than ourselves. We must heal this world.
One drunken night, I've been wanting to do this for a while. You feel your cold stone against your cheek, head pounding, you open your bleary eyes. The unmistakable scrape of metal wakes you fully from your slumber, and you slowly take stock of your surroundings. Hehe, I love these things. Hey, there's some healing potions. Just some gold and some food. There's a lot of gold to be gained in this dungeon. Owie. See, that's 5 gold already. I hate the spinny thing. Fuck my ass. Oh, just penetrated anyway. By a fucking spike. I gained health in that. You follow the stairs upwards until you emerge in a forest, the morning sun burning your eyes. Despite your stupor, you're no more worse for wear than the night before. Combat damage. I fucking got my equipment damaged. Apparently. You fumble in the harvest sack for something to eat. Happily, you find a half-eaten pastry, and you try to find your way out of the woods. That's fine. Choose one item. Oh. That's fine. I shouldn't have gotten rid of that. Pickpocket, I'll do this a lot. Steal. 10 gold. And that's enough for me. You're into a local tavern on the promise of a cheap sugared buns, not bums, fuck. The tavern is empty and the door slams behind you. An ambush.
Your artifact is empty now and will be of little use to you here.
I'm still using my billy clubs. The ones I need to get rid of. That's the orphan! Oh! Right. Hubby the orphan. Some say that goblins are older than time. This goblin seems a little younger than that. When activated, Hubby taunts all enemies drawing attacks away from you. Stay close to charge the ability faster.
I hope this works.
You can fuck off. Nope. Oh, Malaclip's actually hit. Wow. Sorry, you loot what you can from the bodies. A cursory inspection of the tavern regards no sugar buns, much to your disappointment. Look at that one. And another one. Oh, food. I accept that.
Mages are hard to eradicate at the best of times. We have our ways of hiding from the light.
Following Malaclip's cryptic directions, many of which involved borrowing farm animals, you drive at the edge of a vast and lonely lake. And there you uncover a cave entrance blocked by a stone door. We must seek out Ira of the Vale in the underneath, the bard had explained as you followed a frightened cow around the previous night. Why are you seeking her? Ignores. Oh, fuck. That's unfortunate. I'm going to be disappearing in a second. I'll finish this off and then I'll like literally run downstairs, eat my food and go back up. Advance. You see the overbearing structure of the Mage's Tower long before you reach the village of Talos. The townsfolk look at you questioningly when you declare your intention to confront the mages. They haven't really bothered us, one large woman declares as she carries a big under each arm. They already come out of their tower, actually, a young boy adds. I think one of them visited my father's store once. Yiza was her name. Suddenly, a magical portal opens beneath you, whisking you away. As you leap to your feet, you realize that you're surrounded. We will not yield to the Emperor and his false justice, Yiza declares. They are upon you before you can reply. I should have changed my weapons, actually, now that I think about it. There's only one of them, though. It's only an Archmage. I can quite literally just fucking not let them move. At first hint of you having been sent by the Empire, she determined that only one of you would live. Made us shoot projectiles, blah blah blah. But she's an Archmage, she's a tad different. See how easy it is to go against one person. Even a fucking like egg isn't too difficult. Your enemy's defeated, you make your way down back down the tower. You take what you can from the rooms that aren't warded with magic. Getting a lot of food, nice. Mages are now stronger in combat, that's fine. You return to the cavern where fates and rages were determined weeks ago to find the same pair of adventurers still spouting tales of their prowess. On seeing you, the nudge where he gives a hearty laugh. Still alive, my young friend, you're a good sport. Let me get your tankard and you may regale us with more outrageous claims to your abilities. I'm gonna go get food. Be right back. Yes, Martin? Pardon? No. What were you saying? Oh, no, it's not. What I thought was food being taken out was food being put in. That's kind of upsetting. The bard sing of your deeds. Hours later, the tavern dwellers cheer as you embark on more adventures. You and Hubby return to the market in search of Mr. Lionel. He sprouts from a display of fresh horn melons, dislodging some of the fruits to get comfortable. The old goblin clutches the collected artifacts in his spiny eyes. Perfect, now let's see what I have for you. Here, gives you a special bomb. Now on a special. 3 uses, 10 frame required, causes 50 damage. Enemies defeated cause additional damage to the in an area. Fair enough. Sure, I'll equip it. Unfortunately, you must depart. Game 160 has been a true delight. Who is that?
I see you have begun to appreciate the finer points of our game.
You return to the capital in search of more adventure. Fucking that face! Goblins. No. Hey, goblin. Goblins.
It seems the goblins have become organized.
Reward.
Do what you will.
The Netherworld Tavern is a notorious gambling house, run by scoundrels for a vagabond clientele, but tonight is the venue you've chosen for your evening meal. You get to talking with the proprietor, old Ben, while tucking into the stew of the day. As he pours you another ale, you hear it clattering from beneath the floorboards. That's just a rat, the bargainman says, blowing the foam off the top of a mug. Oh sure, every tavern has rats. Keeps the inexperienced adventurers busy, teaches them the value of a job well done, stops them from breaking the furniture. Plus, once you've done once they've done slaughtering them, you can sneak down and harvest the rat meat. Use it to pad out the. Look, never mind. You stare down at your stew in alarm. A deep rumbling causes a cascade of dust to fall from the rafters, and maybe we should investigate, says old Ben. Everything in the cellar is in disarray. Shelves sprawled face down on the cool clay floor. Spilling jars of pickled onions and spare napkins. Light pours in from a man-sized hole in the wall. Deep grooves in the ground lead out of it. Good Lord, they've stolen the booze. Ben cries out as he forces sneak down. Ruined. Deal with the rats.
No good will come of this.
Map of the Empire. So this is just like, yeah, that's easy. Gold ransom, delivered scout to the gun. I mean, do we even have any blessings? I'll take that. 14, that's unlikely to be reached, but that one's just like
A
fine.
brave move. Let us see how that decision fared.
Does that give me an achievement? No, it doesn't. I'm gonna stop live streaming. It's getting boring. Actually, I'm just gonna unplug. Sorry. This is very wordy, and I read in my head much better than I do out loud.
Do not underthink your decisions. A third adventure awaits you. You understand now that these challenges will stretch until time itself ends.
It is astounding what fame and the love of fame can lead to. Even in my day, it was rare to stumble upon the creatures of the shades. Rarer still, as the mythical fade once more into the night.
Blessings are a viable currency in these parts.
Wits or weapons? Perhaps both will fulfill you here.
I hate it up here. The fingers are too cold for music or magic.
We often protect ourselves by hurting those who befriend us, don't you think? Across 100 years, almost every true artifact of power has been lost.
I hope this works.
You should have taken more care.
By sea and sun, fate and fane. Thank you.
Death comes as a surprise even to those awaiting it. I can tell you this with confidence. Meticulously crafted, this armor is far stronger than it appears, and far more valuable than mere arms would indicate. So much revenge permeates the world these days. I cannot help but feel responsible. will not last. He lacks strength. By the time our tale is told, he's probably already lost. You have far more pride than the usurper ever did, but you reach far further than he did. Curious.
Only for you would I fight in a place that smells like this.
Dwarves have never been purged by the Empire in the same way as other races. Frankly, they're too boring. Well done. You continue to impress.
Let us delve deeper still into the secret.
I turn my errors around in my mind, time on time. I know where I failed and where you must not.
Turn, one sec. I'm still gonna have my headset unplugged, but thought I'd inform everyone that I'm back. And by everyone I mean no one. But yeah, see ya.
Now the challenge begins. Prepare yourself.
Time has passed, and now creatures of shadow begin their return to the Empire.
I doubt you have the courage to choose more at this point. Now you have a lot to think about. Don't take too long about it. Now you have a lot to think about. Don't take too long about it. A fourth adventure. Good. They appear without warning, ducking forth from the shadows. Justice has ever been in the eye of the beholder. The pendulum is ever changing, and the challenges it presents change too. I will never understand why you are so eager to carve away the pieces of your soul in exchange for mere objects.
I have walked beyond these gates. I do not recommend it. Too many do not think of what lays ahead of them. After an eternity in a timeless void, I do not have this luxury. For better or for worse, the Northerners understand these lands better than most. That will set you in good stead from here. You should focus more on defense than offense, I think. The opportunity to strike back will always present itself.